I've always cared more about the animals than about the rules, and that's why I've never been afraid to get my hands dirty. One of our first major national victories was the investigation, raid, conviction, and sentencing of Barbara Ruggiero and her cronies. As a Class B dealer, Ruggiero was stealing people's companion animals and selling them to labs for experimentation.
She is a deceptive, manipulative person. In her dealings with vulnerable pet owners and with animals, she is the personification of evil.
This is the first ever state prison sentence in the United States for an animal abuser. LCA then focused on David Stevens to prove that he too was selling stolen and fraudulently obtained companion animals. LCA stayed persistent until he was sent to federal prison. Our next target was Irv Stabani, who was by far the largest and the most notorious Class B dealer around. He was selling about 5,000 dogs a year to research. LCA put him out of business permanently. Our attention then went to C.C. Beard, who at the time was the most ruthless bee dealer around. He was finally convicted of conspiracy and money laundering and was ordered to give up his 700 acres of land, along with a hefty fine amounting to approximately $2.2 million.
Absolutely. USDA made no attempt to enforce the bred and raised. They gave that basically a wink and a nod.
30 years later, a new law enacted by the NIH finally ends the funding of research on dogs from Class B dealers, following a 2012 ruling that did the same for cats. When we started, there were 129 Class B dealers. Today, there are next to none. LCA and I made a commitment to end these barbaric practices.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel here. It's Comrade Lavender here, and today I'm back with another anti-capitalism true crime deep dive YouTube video topic. Today I want to do another video about Class B dealers, pet dealers, Class B pet dealers, pure evil, the true crime case of Barbara Ruggiero and two other people, and HBO's Dealing Dogs Capitalism Exposed documentary. So let's get started in this YouTube video topic. But before we get started, all my YouTube videos that relate to this topic right now will be on the screen. My other videos I've done about other true crime cases about that involve animals, etc. If you like to check out my other YouTube video work that I've done on other true crime cases involving animals, those videos will be on the screen right now. So let's get started in this YouTube video topic. Last Chance for Animals makes history with precedent-setting guilty verdict. Free to Good Home ads began appearing in 1988 when a woman named Jane came to Last Chance for Animals pleading for help. She had placed an offer of a Free to Good Home ad in her local newspaper for her Cocker Spaniel she could no longer keep. A clean-cut, friendly man answered her ad. He said his name was Steve Johnson, and he and his family lived on a 10-acre ranch. Jane was satisfied that she had found a good home for her Cocker Spaniel until she tried to get in touch with him on the phone with Steve and found out he'd given a false telephone number. Last Chance for Animals located dozens of other owners who have given their dogs to a guy named Steve. Like Jane, they all placed ads in the Free to Good Home section of two local newspaper ads, and Steve, sometimes accompanied by a woman, responded. Steve's real name was Ralph Jacobson, known in the wholesale animal business as a butcher, someone who obtains animals, often illegally, to sell to USDA licensed bee dealers who resell the animals to research laboratories. Soon, Last Chance for Animals Special Investigations Unit identified the bee dealers as Barbara Ruggiero and Frederick Sparrow. They tracked them to desolate, impoverished Sun Valley. There, hidden in comfy kennels and budget boarding, were 55 stolen animals. Last Chance for Animals later discovered that this trio of thieves have stolen over 140 animals in the few months they had been in business. Working undercover, the SIU gained entry to the kennels and took photos of each animal that was locked in the cages. Some of the animals are already wearing the brass USDA tags marketing them for shipment to laboratories. Acting on Last Chance for Animals evidence, the Los Angeles Department of Animal Regulation shut down comfy kennels and budget boarding. The animals were removed from both kennels and impounded at East Valley Shelter pending an investigation conclusion. 78 pets had already been sold to 3 laboratories: Cedars Sinai Medical Center, Loma Linda University, and Veterans Administration. Selvenda, a group of fearful pet owners, and Last Chance for Animals president Chris Del Rose gathered in front of the laboratory at Cedars Sinai, the largest purchaser of animals from Ruggiero, and demanded the return of all animals purchased from her. Cedars denied that they bought any pets from Ruggiero, but the following day, Ron Weiss, spokesman for Cedars, promised to let a third party into the lab to identify possible pets. When the day came for inspection, Weiss told the third party, "We are not prepared and we are not going to turn over any more information. We refuse to cooperate any more with this deal. We did not have to cooperate as much as we have. We purchased the dogs from a licensed dealer. If there was any problem, it was with the dealer, not with Cedars." Media coverage continued to focus on the Cedars, and Weiss finally agreed to send photographs of dogs to LADAR. No one could come to Cedars, however, and no dogs would be released. Owners had 48 hours to identify and reclaim their dogs from the photos, or experimentation would resume. Last Chance for Animals refused to accept this, and negotiations continued throughout the day. With continued media interest under pressure from Last Chance for Animals and the public, Cedars relinquished 6 dogs who were reunited with grateful owners. The survival statistics were grim. Cedars received 31 dogs. Only 6 were still alive to be returned. VA bought 31 cats. 2 were returned to grateful owners, and 2 were returned to Ruggiero because of ill health. 21 were allegedly killed in or after experimentation at the laboratories. 8 survived to be returned. Loma Linda bought 18 dogs, but none of them survived their torture. Last Chance for Animals could not determine if the labs lied about how many pets they killed and how they might have been hiding still alive mid-experimented because of the horrors they have done to them. Last Chance for Animals was never shown any descriptions of animals used in experiments, euthanasia papers, or autopsy reports. Through it all, Ruggiero and Spiro denied they knew that Jacobson had misled pet owners as to fate of their animals, but Ruggiero was the woman who often accompanied him to the pet owners' homes, and witnesses revealed that she often picked up pets on her own or without Spiro. Furthermore, her name appeared on USDA records describing the pets, listing their owners. As a direct result of the investigation's unrelenting pressure in the form of phone calls and letters, City Attorney James has filed criminal charges against Barbara Ruggiero, Frederick Spiro, and Ralph Jacobson. On September 8, 1988, the 76-count misdemeanor complaint included charges of theft and conspiracy. At this point, Last Chance for Animals launched a second investigation, suspecting the trio were continuing their pet theft activities. The trial led Last Chance for Animals to Bakersfield, California, where the pet thieves set up business again as Puppy Pavilion, this time with them operating under false names. In addition to filing a fictitious business name statement under their aliases, the two obtained driver's licenses under the same names. At the conclusion of the investigation and of the investigators' Last Chance for Animals urging, the Los Angeles SPCA and Bakersfield authorities moved in on the operation, armed with a search warrant and shotguns. They arrested Barbara and confiscated over 80 dogs, a cat, and a snake. Jacobson was not at the kennel and was being sought by authorities, but she was taken straight to jail. After release, pending possible charges and a trial, the judge in Los Angeles case decided that because of her Bakersfield activities, she was a flight risk, and set her bail to $150,000 and returned her to jail where she spent Christmas. After 6 weeks in jail, Ruggiero posted bail and was released pending trial. Jacobson was apprehended and jailed with a bail set at $750,000. On August 9, 1991, nearly 4 years after being caught by Last Chance for Animals, the trio were convicted in Superior Court of felony grand theft of dogs and conspiracy. The trio's precedent-setting guilty verdict was an important victory in the ongoing investigation fight to protect defenseless animals. It was marked as the first successful felony prosecution in U.S. history for stealing pets to sell for research laboratories. During the sentencing, Judge M. Scatter sentenced her to 6 years and 2 months in prison. Sparrow and Jacobson were given 5 and 3 years, respectively. During the sentencing, the judge called all their characters manipulative and the personification of evil. He also said the trio was greedy, insensitive, and deceitful.